So there in that last video that I made, only after making it, did I read it and realize it has this word in it right here, and this word in it right here, and it was created May 4th, 2016. So all you have to do is Google Fox News and the first part of that sentence and you'll have her. And it gives you varying results in the search engine. Like I got a different result the second time when I searched it the first with this new phone that doesn't even have an algorithm built in yet, really. But this matters more than ever now. But before I trail off, I truly didn't even notice. And this was the beginning of a sequence of events in my life. And to look at that, it's like, what, was it all fake? My whole experience that led me to my come to Jesus moment, seeing this video, was all faked? And if you Google it, that's what you'll find. There's a lot of different articles out there saying it was manipulated. They use the word hoax and fake in this. So my experience wasn't fake, but the results weren't fake. But what if it was clowns in action? And we know that that's who those guys are. And this is from the most recent three-ring circus. And if you look closely, you can see that they are made out of plywood in a very specific shape, but they are simply holding wooden dowels. And then you have this guy over here with the colors that you normally associate with this kind of activity, possibly for hypnotic effect. Look closely, they're wooden. They're not even made out of metal. Pieces of wood. Plywood. You can especially see it right here. The depth of the plywood is like a 1/4 inch thick the whole way along. A real pop stick doesn't look like that. Same thing with the top ridge where it's reflecting light. You can see the width of it is equal the whole distance along where it reflects light up here. It's not shadow or lighting that make, well, you just can't see any definition to it because of the lighting or the shadow. No, that's a freaking piece of wood. And you can see even on the corners where the paint's rubbing off. Again, equal distance on the width of it on this edge right here where the light hits it in such a way that you can see the depth of it, a 1/4 inch even the whole way. Likewise back here. That is a 1/4 inch wide piece of plywood. Likewise with this guy. And he's had a lot more of his paint rub off. You see? They are jerking you around. And they are doing very good job. And you imbecilic Americans fall for it every time. Boris and Natasha is all it took to fool you. You silly American. So, back to the original image. Zoom back out a little bit here so you can see Boris and Boris. We'll even get their graphics in the top there because it's all got the Fox seal of approval with the hypnotic graphics in the background and their logo right there. So someone took this picture and sent it to me via text message. And keep in mind, in my last video, I showed you stormtroopers in a crashed Star Wars spaceship on the side of the road that's being broadcast in the Small Hut country on their news channel. So now the normie's going to tell you, well, this was training. It says Ukrainian civilians take up arms. But that was training. You see, you got the official guy right here with the colors, and these guys are just still in training. This is posing for a photo if I've ever seen it. But that is what the normie will tell you, that they're training. Well, how long do you train? If these guys are like lives in jeopardy, you don't start training with pieces of wood. And the normie will explain this away. And 99.9999999% of normies will never see that. They will go away with the idea that what they just saw in that image was the real hardware pop sticks. And those guys, see what I'm saying? None of them will ever see it. And if anyone by chance like you or me brings it to their attention, they would explain it away and say that was training and someone just snapped a photo and maybe they did pose, but it's still, that's an official guy training some new civilians to do the thing. But really, they won't even take into consideration that theatrics are being mixed in and we're watching thespians, clowns in action, in another three-ring circus. And the fog of conflict is a feature, not a side effect. In fact, 99% of warfare is psychological operations. And remember how I covered recently that the video game Arma 3, in a video that I titled, Clowns in Action Spooked 6 Countries in 10 Months with One Video Game. And here you see the USA Today, the fact check viral clip shows Arma 3 video game, not war between Russia and Ukraine. And they declare this as false. They fact check it as false. And they say, yeah, we declared it false. That just shows video games, not the actual war. Well, what do you mean? That was the claim. The claim is a video shows war between Russia and Ukraine. No, the claim that you would be fact-checking is the conspiracy theory that it shows a video game and not the war, or that it shows the war. And in the big headline, they say that they're fact-checking the conspiracy theory that it shows a video game and not the war. In small print, what they're fact-checking is the claim. Here's the small print. Here's the terms and conditions you did not read, normie. So normie goes, no, I saw USA Today debunk that. They fact check it. It's false. No, dude, this is really just a fucking video game, not really war between. No, USA Today debunked it, and they declared it false. And in the doublespeak, take you to the bottom. So most people, it's been proven through, advertising agencies and whatnot, they only remember the first thing and the last thing that they saw and heard in a commercial or whatever. So as we scroll clear down to the bottom, our rating, false. See, they debunked it. It's been false. Based on our research, we rate false the claim that the video shows war between Russia and Ukraine. And in fact, the video shows footage from Arma 3, a military-style video game. Russia had not been invaded Ukraine yet. And if you go just a couple lines above that, they tell you that it's been used in September 2001. Indian fact-checking organization Boom debunked footage that claimed to show a Pakistani Air Force attack 4 months earlier. The agency France Presse debunked a video that claimed to show the conflict between Israel and Hamas. In both cases, the clips originated from Arma 3. Right here, they're telling you the latest one also originated from, the fact shows that, in fact, the video shows footage from Arma 3. People are claiming it's between Russia and Ukraine. Oh, go scroll clear back up to the top. The only thing the normie remembers is the first thing and the last thing they read. It's been debunked. Fact check. Yeah, that viral clip that shows video games and not the war between Ukraine, it was false. They debunked it. They fact checked it. Yahoo and USA Today debunked it. No, in small print, what they debunked was that it shows the war and said that it, in fact, shows the video game. So using Orwellian doublespeak at its finest, the normie goes away from this thinking, oh no, that really shows the war. Yeah, USA Today debunked it when they said right there, not only did they say it's true, it shows video game, not war, between Russia and Ukraine, But that same video game's been used between Hamas and Israel and Pakistan and Afghanistan, did it say? It didn't say where the Pakistani Air Force attack that the video footage was claiming to be depicting, where that attack was on, but I think I've seen this elsewhere, and it was supposedly, oh, it hit Afghanistan, or wherever, but the same video game, so maybe only 5 countries. If they would tell us where it was supposed to have hit, that would be 6 countries that have been spooked. CIA agents are called spooks. Clowns in action. Spooked 6 countries in 10 months, if you do the math. That was very recently with the same video game. 6 countries, 10 months, 1 video game. And since the dumbass normies or average man bear pig or whatever you want to call them won't wake up when they're using video game footage that frequently to spook the cattle and make them stampede towards each other, they're resorting to throwing in stormtroopers. Maybe they'll notice that. Here comes the stormtroopers. Bring on the stormtroopers. I'm going to block it till they bring on the stormtroopers. There we go. Here's some stormtroopers. Don't want to show you any other graphic video game images or anything, so that's why I blocked it until they showed just the stormtroopers. Now we're going to zoom in on some stormtroopers. Oh! How did I rewind it too far again? Hold that thought. Zooming in on some stormtroopers. Okay, this time you know I'm not zoomed in too far or rewound too far, and we'll just watch some stormtroopers. This one here is supposed to be another one that's in flames. I'll bring that to your attention. There's his buddy. Yeah, he's still flaming. Flamin'. And remember, that's just not some guy on YouTube posting something or some social media. That's their official news network, the Small Hat News Network.
All right, and then Ilea says, someone in chat mentioned Zelensky's music video. I had to look at it. Oh my God, it's disturbing. Much love, Fugel fam. I have not, somebody sent that to me too. I saw the thumbnail for it. I did not watch it yet. Again, he was an actor, is an actor. I mean, you don't just stop being an actor. So I always think about that when I see the headlines like, oh, he made everybody cry at the speech. He's probably done that plenty of times. Bloop. It says, President Putin said that the Russian army operation was developing according to the plan and that it would get worse if the Ukrainians do not accept surrender terms. So I kind of agree with the whole thing where they have not pushed it. I don't believe that they set up a 40-mile line of their vehicles and said, hey, just take those out. You know, we'll just put them all in a line for you. We'll line up our ducks for you to go Nintendo style and just go bam, 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 bam. I don't think that that's exactly how it goes. A lot of people said that they saw the video, Dex saw the video. It probably went for a couple miles on the video. I would assume that video wasn't just 30 minutes long of a drone being able to film their entire line of vehicles. I only saw like 4 or 5 pictures of this from really high up, but others saw the video of the whole line of them. I don't think they lined up 40 miles worth of vehicles, just their entire vehicle kind of fleet, for them just to go down it with one line and just, blow them out of the sky. They are doing things on purpose. We are doing things on purpose. There's something far worse going. You can have victims in a Fantastic Freddy. You can have a lot. You can have the most we've ever seen in current history.
So I was searching for March 6th, 2022, The Next Revolution with Steve Hilton, because I have a video that's been made private. And they won't show you the whole episode of Steve Hilton, The Next Revolution, from March 6th, 2022, just 12 days ago, or however long that was. They'll only show you these clips. And he had a guest on there. He had a goal on there who openly stated his goal of scorched earth at 12 minutes and 20 seconds. This is my show notes and my messages. Who said if we can just keep them bogged down over there in Ukraine, it will lead to one of those dramatic and unexpected sequences of events that will change the world forever. So when people tell you that that's their goal, this guy openly admitted it at 12 minutes, 20 seconds on the March 6th episode of Steve Hilton's show, The Next Revolution, on Fox News. But when I click on it, this video is private. So what I'm about to show you here is from a recent MB3 video where he clearly shows there's two layers of clouds moving in different directions, or more accurately possibly that one is stationary and the other is moving. Or it could be that, anyway, let's watch, because many of you have seen this and noticed it, so it's nice for the moral support. And with those two layers of sky can be created the greatest of illusions you could ever imagine to do the greatest show on earth.
That is absolutely spectacular. Dawn J. out of Statesboro, Georgia. She noticed what looked like a stationary cloud up here that was linear in nature, and the lower clouds were moving at a much faster pace than the clouds up above. Shelley's UFO out of San Fernando Valley, California.
Did you see that? He goes on to say someone drew a baseball with some threads. Right there, I see the Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail. The Great Reset. My point was, many of us have noticed this. Two atmospheric layers. This one in the middle is much higher altitude than these ones that are moving beneath it. And often they move in different directions. And so it's nice to just know that it's finally been acknowledged and recognized. And soon, they'll have a Wikipedia for it, talking like it's always been that way. And all the normies will just pretend it's always been that way. Just stay in alignment with truth, and you know damn well it ain't always been that way. There's one sky, not two skies. But they'll pretend it's always been that way as soon as they show it a little bit more. In fact, that's what James was saying in a recent stream, and it's the three phases of truth. He was saying that soon, people around you are going to say, oh yeah, we always knew it was a sham and a con and everything, and you're going to be like, no, but you were saying that I should go get, and you were telling me that No, I wasn't. I always knew it was that way. The truth goes through three phases. First, it's mocked and ridiculed and laughed at. Ha ha ha, tinfoil hatter. Then, it's vehemently and violently opposed. Fuck you, shut up, go take your miracle medical sauce. And third, it's universally accepted as if it was always true. And we're coming to that point where people, all the same people, are just going to act like I always knew it was a scam. I always knew that it was fake, and I always knew this, and I always knew that, including the fact that there's two skies. And that's just how the cattle do. Like the fact that we even see
Cloud up here that was linear in nature, and the lower cloud.
I needed to turn the lighting way down. But we've gotten to the point where they can do skywriting, and 20 years later, the same people that told you were crazy about chemtrails and there is no such thing just go, oh yeah, everyone already knows. Everyone knows that. But like I've shown you in recent videos, possibly they did that gradually over 20 years so that when we got to the point where they had to do solar mitigation, they could do it with a thickness and people don't even question it and just go about their day as if, yeah, everyone always already knew that. Just like everyone knows there's two skies, don't they? Oh no? Give them a minute. That's what they'll act like. But for those of us that have noticed and tried to mention it.
That is absolutely spectacular. Dawn J. out of Statesboro, Georgia. She noticed what looked like a stationary cloud up here that was linear in nature, and the lower clouds were moving at a much faster pace than the clouds up above. Shelley's UFO out of San Fernando Valley, California, got an airplane or two up here drawing in the sky, ultimately creating what looks like a baseball with stitches on it. Not only one, but two in the daytime sky. Paul, Jake and T out of Christchurch,
then the very
New
next
Zealand.
one.
Notice some big ovals in the sky, in the daytime sky above New Zealand. Look like a...
The very next thing that he shows you, are these more Skyriders over here? Those Skyriders are in the sky all day, every day, sometimes in some places. This is the very next slide that he shows you where they're noticing ovals. You see, there's one here and then one up here, but he kind of breezes right over it. And you can kind of see there's little here, little there. Anyway, these Skyriders have been the case for so long. Just like they upped the game, so okay, they're not recognizing the video games coming across the mainstream news as wartime coverage. We'll throw in some fucking Star Wars stormtroopers and down Star Wars craft. We've been doing these condensation trails for so many years that they can do this right above the head of people and they probably don't even notice. And you could point it out to them, they'd go, huh, and go back about their business. So stick in alignment with the truth that you know. Stick with your senses. That's why James says be a zetetic. What do you truly know? And we're going to have to break free from our relationship to that word, knowing. I know this, I know that. And redefine things. Well, I heard this person say that, and then I saw some video that appeared to show that. And then I heard some other person say something else, and he said they proved that wasn't true, but I don't know anything about the situation, really.